I feel greatly disturbed at the tone we have come to regarding the political crisis in Rivers State. Like many of you, I have watched with concern the development with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail at the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Also, it is public knowledge that the governor of Rivers State, for unjustifiable reasons, demolished the House of Assembly of the state as far back as 13th December 2023, and as up till now, 14 months after, now rebuilt the same. I have made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter, but all their efforts were also to no avail. Still, I thank them. On February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a judgment in respect of all about 8 consolidated appeals concerning the political crisis in Rivers State, based on several grave unconstitutional acts and the disregard of the rule of law that has been committed by the governor of Rivers State, as shown by the evidence before it, pronounced in very clear terms. And I quote, "A government cannot be said to exist without one of the 3 arms that make up of the government of a state under the 1999 Constitution as amended." In this case, the head of the executive arm of the government has chosen to collapse the legislature to enable him to govern without the legislature as a despot. As it is, there is no government in Rivers State, and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalog of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor Sack Fubara. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the 8th respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members, and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of goods people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State having failed to make a request to me as president to issue this proclamation as required by Section 305, Paragraph 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Tinubu Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Ibok Ete, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state and the interests of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state. This declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette, a copy of which has been forwarded to the National Assembly in accordance with the Constitution. It is my fervent hope that this inevitable intervention will help to restore peace and order in Rivers State by awakening all the contenders to the constitutional imperatives, binding on all political players in the Rivers State in particular and Nigeria as a whole. Long live a united, peaceful, secured, and democratic Rivers State in particular, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a whole. God bless you all for listening. Thank you.
Supreme Court judgment didn't say go and impeach the governor. Supreme Court judgment simply said go and represent the budget for your allocation to be released. Is that not what the Supreme Court judgment said? It didn't say go and impeach the governor, go and pursue the chief judge to bring his certificate of birth, go and remove the chief electoral officer. It didn't say all that one. But these are the vainglories, the things we were seeing playing out. It didn't say go and give governor ultimatum, produce a budget in 40 hours. Budget is a document which we need to prepare. We had the judgment on the 28th. On Monday, you said governor should produce, you are giving him 48 hours ultimatum. We're not in a military dictatorship.
Okay, now the way it is, we understand that the House of Assembly under the leadership of Martin Amaule have raised some misconduct allegations against the governor, Tinubu Sack Fubara. And anytime soon, we are likely going to see the House asking the Chief Judge to raise panel to investigate the allegation. Do you think the House will succeed in this regard?
Don't forget that there is a foul play in this game between this Supreme Court judgment that we are saying Take your problem to Wike and leave it there. Wike control Nigeria judiciary. If you take your problem to him, take your problem to Wike and leave it there. Wike now single-handedly direct judges on what to do. Don't forget that there is still a case that is still pending of the 27 lawmaker who defected from the PDP to APC, which the date has been fixed on the 16th of April, that the Federal High Court is going to sit down and hear the issue. So all these things that you see in the National Assembly, the 27 lawmaker led by the Speaker, Matthew, now is just trying to play a foul game play. Of course, which we know hold water, it will not stand. Of course, I have said this severally, and I keep saying it, take my word to bank. No man born of a woman can impeach Fubara.
Now, let me bring this angle, because the other day, Wike went to Calabari, and the song they were singing is, Obey, obey, Fubara must obey Wike, obey. The question is, should we submit to an individual? I thought our democracy have evolved beyond godfatherism.
They say he who fight and run, live to fight for another day. Fubara have not been defeated by Wike, as many people as Wike people have seen it. It has not been defeated. Fubara is just trying to play this politics, because I keep saying when two elephants fight, it is the ground that fight. Now look at what Wike have done. Wike has a deceitful heart. He does not love the river people, because I cannot see a state which you have governed for 8 years, a state that have made you who you are, you make the federal government to stop the allocation. Stopping the allocation of River State, that means the civil servant will no longer collect salary. That means you are dropping the state in, I don't know the adjective, the English to qualify it, in a bad shape. So what we are saying now that Wike plan for River State is bad. Don't forget that not that Fubara cannot use his power that be given to him, but he is trying to be cautious, because they say two people don't go into the bush to go and call rock bush. If the elderly one don't know, the younger one is supposed to know. Fubara now is the one that is now playing the role of an elder, which Wike is supposed to play. But I still stand that Fubara, the gentility of Fubara cannot be taken for granted. I still say it, and I repeatedly that even despite the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu direct or indirectly is supporting Wike, they cannot see the light of the day in impeaching Fubara.
Now let me bring the angle of Asariko here, because this is a man who have said he emptied his account to support Tinubu for presidency in 2023. But currently he has made it very clear that the judges have not gotten anything in return for the support they gave Tinubu, and as such, that going forward, the judge is going to form a new alliance with the North against the Yorubas. He clearly said it. He said it point blank that Yorubas are betrayers.
Yes, of course. Aside Tokubo said that Yoruba people are betrayers. He made reference to it that during Obasanjo was the one that take him to prison, that almost by him, if not for Tinubu that came for his rescue. You know, Asade Tokubo believe on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He campaigned for Bola Ahmed Tinubu with all his dear life. What is paining Asade Tokubo that is now making him to generalize it? I did not agree with him, because you see some of Yorubas that are upright, some of Yorubas that are not betrayers. What is paining Asade Tokubo now is that the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sizing Wike to destroy River State is what is paying Asade Tokubo. Because everyone is surprised. What is the gain of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Is it because of Wike maneuver the election of River State? Is it the election for him?
And in the viral video, you can clearly see Asade Tokubo calling Wike names, unprintable names.
Yes, of course, Wike knows Asade Tokubo. That Asade Tokubo too is not a small fish. As you have said earlier, that Asade Tokubo is even challenging Nigerian military. Who is that Wike?
Is he threatening to bring down a military?
He threatened them, and up to the nothing happened. Asade Tokubo have come on here and told Nigeria that his boys can withstand this Boko Haram if they give him the chance. For you to know the capacity of Asade Tokubo. So even Wike knows that the last time, this last weekend that Wike went to River State, he went with federal minds, with soldiers, with police, to make sure. If not, he would have been hurtful. But Asade Tokubo, Fubara still maintain peace, because he don't want chaos in River State. If anything happens in River State today, nobody will hold Wike responsible. They will also say, hey, you are the governor. You will have maintained peace. And that's why you see all this. Let me tell you, anybody that is holding oil, we hold it gently. Fubara is the one holding the oil.
Yeah. So it's like a case of those who live in glass house.
Don't throw stone.
Should not throw stone.
That's what Fubara is doing. Because Fubara is the one holding the destiny of Rivers State. You cannot expect Fubara to be fighting useless fight that Wike is fighting. Wike, for him, he has nothing to lose. Anything that is happening in Rivers State, Wike is in Abuja enjoying his life with full security. His children is not in Rivers State. The wife is not in Rivers State. But innocent citizens that believe on Fubara, they are in Rivers State. As Jonathan have said it, that my ambition does not want the blood of any Nigeria. And that is how he surrendered to Buhari in 2015. Today, look at where we are today.
But do you see Fubara surrendering like Jonathan?
No, it will not work. It will not work because the Buhari Tinubu case, Jonathan case is quite different. It's election. They did election. This Fubara, there's no election. I keep advising Wike and Tinubu, they will have exercised patience to wait for 27 elections and bring this their shenanigans character and play it out. But not to say you want to impeach Fubara is not possible.
Now, there's a new twist where even Asadiko himself has come out to say that Rivers State is majorly Igbo. He said himself have Igbo blood. He mentioned numerous places that you can clearly trace to Igbo as their origin. It looks as if this crisis is making Asari Tukubo to identify with his original people, the Igbos.
Yes, of course, I've told you that Asari Tukubo said it, I quote Asari Tukubo. He said, creating Rivers State was out of politics to marginalize the Igbos. Rivers State belongs to Port Harcourt, belongs to Igbos. The distance from Abia State to Rivers State, the distance is not much. Before the Biafra War, Rivers State land belongs to the Igbos. It was after the Biafra War, Gowon, the man who orchestrated what we are passing through in Nigeria today, Gowon, from where I came from, Middle Belt, which is regretting now because it's close to his early grave. He has bought what he came into this world to buy. Very soon he will join ancestor, which everybody will join. The world is like a marketplace. When you finish what you came for, you go back. Nobody sleep in the market. Now Gowon is regretting everything he has took. It was Gowon and the Fulani's agenda for measure to marginalize Igbos. That's why they carve out Rivers State out of Igbo land. Just imagine, people have over 70 million population in the world. How come it's only 5 states the Igbos are having? And these are the reasons Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting to liberate his people out of this country. And for me, there's no cry to fight for the liberations of your people.
Okay, now let me ask this question, perhaps because a judge leader said that the problem Wike is passing through currently is the thunder they return to him. That in the past, that Wike said thunder fire Ijo, and Wike did not know that Ijo know the origin of the spirit of thunder, and they return thunder to him. Now look as if the judges are spiritual.
If you look at this, you will see that they are not far from the truth, because I say that Wike might be having a problem because a normal human being will not behave the way Wike is behaving. Person who brought you to power, Goodluck Jonathan, I watched it live. He was the one who pleaded for Peter Odili to make sure Wike become the governor of Rivers State. But as I speak to you now, Ebele Jonathan, Peter Jonathan now, and Wike, they are cataracts. Odili that make you a governor, which the one stood by you that make you to be powerful in lead Nigeria judiciary, they are cataracts. Amechi, who make you a minister under his tenure, they are cataracts. Look at Edwin Clark, late Edwin Clark that is still gone. Wike is still calling him, even in his diamond grave, without respect. For me, something is wrong with Wike. Maybe they have cast a spell on him, or maybe probably the thunder that the job people have sent back to him is what is the problem of Wike. I don't know, but sincerely, Wike have a big problem, and he need to sort out that problem.
Now, conclusively, the way it is, how do we get peace in the region?
The peace rely on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, without fear of favor, hands is not clear in this issue. And there is what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to achieve in this very issue. Because, let me tell you, under Buhari, which a lot of us have been criticizing every day, Buhari is far better than this Tinubu in terms of democracy. The dictatorship of this Bola Ahmed Tinubu is second to none. Amechi was a minister under Buhari. Wike was the governor. Wike insulted Buhari. Wike did everything to Buhari. He got to a stage whereby he fought Amechi not to enter Rivers State. But let me tell you, did Buhari intervene? Buhari never intervened in their issue. If not, if Buhari would have intervened the same way Tinubu is intervened for Wike now, Wike will have been impeached under Buhari government. Have you forgotten how powerful Wike was during COVID-19? Federal government sent a delegation to go to River State. Wike single-handedly challenged the federal government. That is how powerful Wike was. And with all this thing he did, Buhari never intervened. So what is Tinubu looking for River State?
So does it go to show that Buhari is more democratic than Tinubu?
Okay. Buhari is far better in terms of democracy than Tinubu. Tinubu is a dictatorship. I can tell you the shenanigans election they did in Edo State is by firing. The election that they did in Edo State is by firing now, because as we speak to you now, Okpogolo, they call him the governor of Okpogolo, and Adam Sochomole, they are cataract now. The fight has started. They have started because it was still Tinubu that brought that issue. Say, if I come, I will give you a pity. And today, he have made Edo State to become Lagos. And look at what they are passing through. Agbero now have taken over Edo State. There is one they just called now. They just arrested EFCC. Ebo Stone. Ebo Stone was the one going to the street arresting prostitutes, carrying a drug. This thing. I think we are not in a military government. The guys that the governors did not provide work for. There is a way you can educate this guy, provide job for them to leave prostitution, not by a dog arrested them. You know how come I fight? The same Ebo Stone went to club with half-naked women, were dancing with their bum. He was busy spraying naira on them, and that is how the EFCC went to carry him. As I speak to you now, Ebo Stone is in the hand of DSS in Edo State. So big problem in Edo State as I speak to you because of this dictatorship that this APC government has brought to this country. It has never been bad in the terms of PDP. PDP, they rotate this power. Once Obama is a president, House from North will become Senate president, and the House of Rep will be Igbo. They rotate these things. They make Nigeria not to feel bad under PDP. But the moment this APC, the disaster people have come, look at where they have turned to Nigeria to. Before 2015, Nigeria was one of the best economy in Africa. We were doing well. Whether you are doing shoemaking work, anything you are doing, you could be able to feed well. But as I speak to you, under this Tinubu administration, APC administration, people cannot send their children to school. People can no longer eat. So what else did we want?
Cannot feed the family anymore.
What did they want?
I think I must say a very big thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is a good place to let it go. Thank you very much.